Alright, so let's talk about something that doesn't usually get a lot of hype, but quietly runs a lot of businesses behind the scenes. Paperwork, receipts, invoices, forms, documents stacked on desks, stuffed in drawers, or worse, just lost. And that's where this comes in. This is the Canon imageFORMULA R40 Office Document Scanner Receipt Edition. And on paper, yeah, it sounds like just another office scanner. But in practice, it's trying to solve a very real problem, turning physical chaos into clean, searchable digital files, fast. So the question is simple. Does it actually make that process painless enough that you'll actually want to use it every day? First thing you notice is how compact this thing is. It's not trying to dominate your desk. It's small, minimal, and clearly designed for home offices or small business setups where space actually matters. But the real story starts when you load it up. You've got an automatic document feeder on top, which means you're not feeding pages one by one like it's 2009. You stack your papers in, press a button, and it just starts moving. And it moves fast. We're talking up to around 40 pages per minute depending on settings, which is more than enough for most home office workflows, accounting tasks, or receipt management. Now here's where it gets interesting. This isn't just scanning. It's scanning plus organizing plus extracting data. It can take receipts and documents and push data directly into tools like QuickBooks Online. So instead of you manually typing totals, dates, vendors, it's doing a lot of that interpretation for you. And if you've ever done bookkeeping manually, you already know how big that is. Because scanning a document is easy, but making it usable is where most devices fall apart. The software experience here is actually where Canon tries to separate this from basic scanners. The setup is straightforward on both PC and Mac. Plug it in, install the software, and you're basically ready to go. No complicated calibration. No weird driver issues. Just plug and start scanning. And it supports duplex scanning, which means both sides of a page get captured in a single pass. That sounds small, but when you're processing stacks of paper, it cuts your workload in half instantly. Now let's talk image quality. You're not getting cinematic detail here. That's not the point. What you're getting is clean, readable, accurately cropped documents that actually make sense when you open them later. Text is sharp. Receipts are readable even when they're slightly faded. And the autocorrection does a solid job handling skewed pages. But the real value isn't just in the scan itself. It's in the workflow it unlocks. Imagine this. Instead of having a shoebox full of receipts at the end of the month, you scan them as you go, they get categorized, and they're already in your accounting software. That's the promise. And for a lot of small businesses, freelancers, or even home office setups, that's the difference between I'll deal with it later and it's already done. One thing worth mentioning is speed versus control. This is clearly built for automation, not manual perfection. You're not sitting there editing every scan. You're trusting the system to handle bulk processing efficiently. And most of the time, it actually does. But it's not perfect. If you feed it really crumpled paper or badly torn receipts, you're still going to get the limitations of physics. No scanner fixes bad input. But within normal use, it performs consistently. What really stands out is how this fits into a modern workflow mindset. We're moving away from paper storage and into digital-first systems. And this device feels like it was designed specifically for that transition point where you still have paper, but you don't want to live with it. So who is this actually for? If you're running a small business, handling invoices, dealing with expense tracking, or just someone drowning in paperwork, this makes a lot of sense. If you're a casual user who scans once every few weeks, this is probably more machine than you need. But if scanning is part of your daily or weekly workflow, this starts to feel less like a gadget and more like infrastructure. Not exciting infrastructure, but the kind that quietly saves you hours every month. And that's really the angle here. It's not trying to be flashy. It's trying to disappear into your workflow and just handle the boring stuff automatically. And honestly, that's kind of the point. Because the best tools aren't the ones you think about. They're the ones that just make the work go away. So yeah, that's the Canon imageFORMULA R40. A very unglamorous device doing a very important job. Turning paper into something your digital life can actually use. If you're trying to clean up your workflow, reduce manual data entry, or just stop losing receipts, this is one of those tools that quietly makes a big difference over time.